that Louise is an excellent listener. Because during this time that she was asking questions, her next question would almost be immediate to the information that John was giving her. That takes a lot of listening to be able to do that, especially I was pretending I was listening to this over the radio. Occasionally there was a pause between the information ending, John ending, and then the next question beginning, but that was rare and it was not very long. So the pace of the interview kept up very well. What was very, I thought, for me and perhaps for you too, was the opening. Welcome to Yakima Weekend. Her voice was kind, it was friendly, and it was inviting that, hey, I want to listen to this show. I want to hear what this is all about. She also opened up with a question that you know she did some research on, knowing that the City Council of Yakima had put a moratorium on the cell phone towers that people are wanting to put up around the city. Now that did pique my interest at first, and so I was a little bit turned because I thought that's what the show was going to be about. And it ended up being more on the power lines that Pacific Power and Light, and as well as Bonneville Energy, was going to do with the power lines. So that threw me for a loop. I thought, whoa, I want to hear about the cell phone stuff. and it was brought up later also, but that it was never brought out even more. It wasn't pulled out. Now, when I think about who's listening to this type of presentation, we have to think about who our audience is. And an audience, most everyone now owns a cell phone, and I thought would be more interested in hearing about the cell phone tower and how people are, saying, no, we don't want any more in the city, but yet we want to use our cell phones. The interest about the Pacific Power, the electrical lines, I thought was very interesting because the questions that Louise kept asking brought in the information. So the questions were very appropriate and very interesting. I would have hoped to have you did a little bit more reading on the topic so that you can say to your audience, I heard or read that da-da-da-da-da-da. Now tell us your feeling about this. Now what's the comparison? We know the comparison about the Pacific Power line, it's going to be longer. What about how expensive is it? Will the people on the, whose land are they going to get compensated? What about all of those wind towers, wind machines, and how is that going to impact this electrical line that the Pacific Power is proposing to put up? But all along, this was all about an audio interview, and the questions, you're an excellent listener, and you picked up quickly, and it moved quickly, and that's what people who are listening want to be able to hear. Keep their interest up. So thank you, Louise.